Hello, Claire. How are you today on your beautiful side of the planet?
Very good, thank you. A little chilly, but nothing that cannot be cured.
Okay, so let's start by sharing with our audience who are you, where are you, and then we will get into the juicy part of this interview.
Fantastic. Thank you, Marta. I am in Cape Town, South Africa.
Wow,
So, yeah, I get to live in this beautiful country.
that's amazing. I think this is one of the most surprising things for Rob Williams, the originator of PSYCH-K, that he never imagined that we would be teaching in over 60 countries in more than 20 languages. So yeah, it is happening all over the world, and you are proof of that.
Absolutely. Absolutely fantastic.
Yeah.
So grateful
Oh my God,
that
yeah.
he got the download.
And that he was willing because it took guts to do that. So,
Yes,
Claire,
absolutely.
we've been doing these interviews because there are people out there who may know that they're ready for Psyche and some may not, but they are. So we want to
Yeah.
share the story of where were you? What happened before Psyche that drove you to say, there's got to be a better way? And then somehow in that conscious or unconscious request, IK finds that request and comes into Claire's life and says, okay, here I am. And then you integrate this and what has happened. Where are you now? That's
Yeah.
what we want to share today.
Great. Mine was a 27-year journey. I'd
I
read
can
a
relate.
lot of books. I'd attended a lot of training and workshops, tried different modalities and therapies and, anything that you can to try and figure out why my life was not what I wanted, what I expected. I felt like literally like a victim of circumstance. I felt like I had no control over my life because I was getting the exact opposite. Funnily enough, the very first book that I read was Napoleon Hill's Think and Grow Rich. And in there, unfortunately, not the version I read, but there was about the fact that our dominating thoughts, whether they are constructive or destructive, because the subconscious doesn't know the difference, doesn't make a distinction between those two. Whatever our dominating thoughts, those are in fact the ones that produce the results. So for me, I'd read that book, but misunderstood it. And so my focus was on what I didn't want. Like, I don't want us to be in the situation again where
Got it.
one of us loses our jobs, blah, 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 all this financial stuff, whatever was happening. I don't want this. I don't want this, thinking that that would prevent it from happening because I'm really passionate and determined about that. But the subconscious doesn't know that that is not something you actually want because it doesn't understand a negative. So anyway, so I ended up creating a whole lot of stuff. And despite, literally 27 years, because that's all I read, those kinds of things, attended those kinds of talks and stuff. But I was still like, I didn't understand. Like I felt like I was cursed, that I must have been a really terrible person in my previous life. Because I was like, why am I getting the opposite of what I want? Anyway, and really, 2019, January, I was at my absolute all-time lowest point. I'd faced a lot of stuff. 2012, I'd had this nuclear bomb go off where my just literally my whole life imploded, exploded. There was nothing left of it. Uh, you know,
Wow.
job, home, husband, kids, everything gone in less than 20 hours. And I was like, really? Like, what on earth? And I was like, I don't get it. I work hard. I love the people in my life. I do what I can to help everybody. What am I doing wrong? Anyway, so that was 2012. And then I was on the 7 year and 4 month journey trying to figure out what had I done? How had I killed, murdered this marriage I wanted for life? And my, dream location job in terms, I was living in a beautiful place called Franschhoek. I was like, how did I destroy this all? Because I must have unconsciously done stuff for this to be the result. Anyway, And then fast forward 7 years, 4 months, well, just before that in the December,
But
I
who's
was like
counting?
doing something online. And then Alma, who PSYCH-K instructor in South Africa, one of her ads popped up for PSYCH-K, and I was like, wow, this must be fantastic. So I signed up and all that. And so long story short, I then realized in that weekend when I did the training, I changed a lot of my beliefs. And after the end of that, because obviously you learn the theory and then we do sessions with one another and we make changes. And by the Monday morning, I could already feel there was something different. And the confirmation of that was somebody who's been part of my life for 27 years, was my ex-husband, phoned and said, I'd like to do A, B, and C. And I was like, these were things that I'd been wanting from him for the 16 years we were together. And then obviously then now it's 10 years since we're no longer together, but we're still friends. And I was like, wow. So that was like instantly confirmation for me. Something shifted big time within me. And it's been absolutely amazing, because up to that point, so I was 46 years old when I finished the PSYCH-K course. And my whole life, I felt as the victim of circumstance. I felt like I had absolutely no control over what was happening. I had an intention for one thing, but then again, my focus was always on what I didn't want. And so no wonder I was getting that. Now it's three and a bit years later. It's been just the most amazing thing. So it's changes in sort of health, finances, relationships, my business. Now I'm with PSYCH-K, I'm getting work from all over the world. I still do not have a website. It's videos like these that people are drawn to. They somehow find me there and they come to me. And so that's also, again, a testimony to the fact that when you are aligned, your beliefs and what you want are aligned, you get these amazing things come in. So when I decided to do it full time, the first confirmation of that I was on the right path, well, my body gave me a big warning when I slightly deviated in it, and then my heart went to 200 beats, per minute, and I was like, thought I was having a heart attack. And then I realized a bit later, when everything settled, I was like, messages, and drew the message, and the message says, the universe is ready to support you to make this change. And how can your body get your attention in the most effective way is to threaten your life, because your heart going at 200 beats without doing anything. Yeah, it's like, hello, like you were here and then you decided to go, like, what are you doing? So yeah, it's just like, was my heart going, no, I'm not standing for this anymore. Get on board. So it was so fun. It wasn't funny in the moment. But later that night, when I then thought, I've got a tool called Messages. Let me go and see what is the situation a situation or condition trying to teach me, or let me know. And I tell you, that process is beautiful. But yeah, and so I've worked with people all over the world. So it's 11 countries now and counting.
That is so cool. And
yeah, it's fantastic. I love it. The power to help people understand what power we have. I mean, I read all about it, that we are the creators of our universe. And I was like, but why am I creating the opposite of what I want? I don't understand. I've read all these books. I've done all this training. I've, done all these things. Why is my life the way it is? And then, I was like, yeah, okay. Come from love. So I've actually got a necklace, which I wear every day. I'm just trying to find it. Sorry. Under my 50,000 layers. It's a heart.
Is that a labradorite?
So it's what it is made of is, in South Africa we have fynbos, which is natural occurring bush, and what a very clever person came up with is they cut the stems, they dye them, then they dry them, and then they put them in resin and they make jewelry from them.
Oh,
So
that's
this
gorgeous.
reminds me always to come from love, because when we come from love, it's all of the things that create. When we come from fear, we get the opposite. So this is my reminder, always come from love.
Well, Claire, what a story. I do agree with you that when we align with ourselves, we get that support. That support is not outside. We kind of think, oh, something's going to come from outside. No, everything is happening within. And I think this is the evidence of what you're saying. And so many people say, oh, when I have a website, when I am ready, and they stop and they wait. So kudos to
Yes,
you for not waiting. Kudos for you for being there for those people in 11 countries and the more to
yes,
come, because humanity needs this. This is the
exactly.
antidote here.
Yeah. And it's that
So
inside
thank you.
job, because for a lot of things I was going, but why are you doing this to me?
You're right.
Why is that
So
person, I don't understand why they are treating me like that. And then when I realized, yeah, they're just the teachers. They are just
exactly.
the kind souls that have taken on that role to help us learn that lesson. I didn't
Yeah.
graduate the very first class of life for 46 years because it's like, man, how did I get this woman to get the lesson? And that's why I think my whole life kind of just went, because it was like, okay, how do we get her attention? How do we get her to understand these lessons? Let's just eradicate everything all in one go in less than 20 hours. Let's just gone. She got to pay attention then. And of course I did. I just
Yeah.
wish that I'd realized and learned about Psych-K sooner. But it's also a good thing because I can share that experience with people and say, let's not wait. Let's
Exactly.
not go, oh,
Let's
I
not
need
wait
the
until
perfect job
it
first.
implodes.
Or no, let's do the inside work. It's an inside job.
It
It
is.
happens from the inside out, literally.
Exactly. Okay, people. So if you're watching this and you're ready, let's not wait. Contact Claire, get your session, and get that inside job going. So we're going to be sharing Claire's information on here. She offers online sessions, which are amazing because it doesn't matter where you are. Transformation is going to be within you, in your subconscious mind, guided by whatever you call your inner wisdom or your higher self, however you call that. And this is why we've been doing Psych-K for so many years and transforming lives one human being at a time. Thank you, Claire, for your time. And thank you for all that you're doing.
Thank you to you too, Marta. I really appreciate this opportunity and everything that you do for Psych-K.